Next on Good Morning El Paso, one person has died after a car crash on the east side. Our round-the-clock crew is still on the scene. We'll have a live report.
Also, after more than a 5-hour-long standoff at a bank last night, one man is in custody and police are still trying to understand his motive.
We're all aware of what it really means, and that's why whenever hate groups march or parade or rally, they use those symbols.
The governor of South Carolina wants the Confederate flag removed from State House grounds. So why is the flag still flying high?
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
A very good morning to you, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Hillary Floren. Good morning, everyone. Let's get right to meteorologist Crystal Cly and talk about the changes that we are hoping for today in the forecast.
Yeah, the most significant one is we were not going to hit the triple digits today, right, Crystal?
That's right. It looks like we will stay in the 90s this afternoon. On top of that, winds picking up a bit, and we've got a little extra moisture, meaning some slight chances of rain begin today. So a lot of changes on the forecast for your afternoon. This morning, we're already seeing some of those breezy conditions. Our weather net sites here, we're going to keep showing you these as they update because our regional map really isn't showing off the wind speeds well, but our weather net sites, they are showing off the wind speeds well. About 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts outside. As you look across the map here, that is giving us some breezy conditions this morning as you head into work. Now looking at your clouds and radar map, not a lot going on in the board. Completely clear out east. West, we've got some clouds, some scattered rain trying to make itself known over by Silver City, parts of Grand Sierra counties, but really that action's moving off to the west. It's later today. We're talking another chance of rain showers popping up, just a 10 to 20% shot. Today it's a low chance, better chances increasing in the days to come. We'll talk more about that with your 7-day raincast coming up.
Thanks so much, Crystal. And now to our top story this morning, a deadly wreck on the east side. It happened around 2 this morning right near the intersection of George Dieter and Vista del Sol. That's where ABC7's Denise Olivas is live with more on the east side. Good morning.
Good morning. Let's get to that traffic situation. First off, right now, drivers in East El Paso, if you are heading west on Vista del Sol, you will be forced to either go north or south on George Dieter, because as you can see here, Vista del Sol remains closed at this hour. El Paso police confirming this is after one person was killed in a single vehicle wreck. Let's get to the video. New this morning, shot by a round-the-clock crew shortly after the wreck happened. The only car involved, a black Cadillac that ended up on the property of the Paso del Norte Charter High School. Emergency dispatch confirmed with me that the driver died here at the scene, and specific details of the wreck have not been released or whether speed or alcohol were factors. Well, back out here live at the scene, you can see investigators still surrounding the vehicle involved that landed on the property, and there's debris spread out through the entire area of that property. So again, they're combing the area for more details, trying to figure out exactly what led up to this deadly wreck. As far as traffic, it doesn't seem too much of an issue if you are traveling northbound or southbound on George Dieter, but if you are heading west on Vista del Sol, you will have to take that detour. For now, we're live in East El Paso. Denise Olivas, ABC7.
All right, Denise, thank you for that update. A man is in custody after barricading himself inside a bank in East El Paso yesterday. It started around 5:30 yesterday evening at the Compass Bank just off of Yaw Road near Montwood. So far, we know the man is a 56-year-old Hispanic, but police have not figured out a motive. No hostages were taken, and police say bank robbery was not a factor.
This is generally a safe neighborhood. Not a lot happens here. It's pretty quiet. So I think it's just kind of a shock or a surprise to people that something, kind of scary is happening so close to their homes.
Authorities say they were able to successfully evacuate the bank's employees and the entire shopping center during the incident.
Former Fort Bliss Commander Major General Dana Pittard could have his rank reduced. Pittard is an El Paso native and graduated from Eastwood High School. Pentagon commanders reprimanded him this year for allegedly using his authority as Fort Bliss commander to award an energy contract to a firm led by one of his former West Point classmates. Pittard was a post commander from 2010 to 2011. 2013. The nearly $500,000 contract was part of a larger project to make the post self-sufficient in energy use. In a statement, he said that some risk is acceptable in order to benefit the force. He then added, quote, "If my example deters other senior Army leaders from taking bold risk in the future, that is unfortunate," end quote. El Paso Sheriff's deputies need your help finding a man wanted for murder in New Mexico. Investigators say 35-year-old Joel Ponce killed Juan Perez back in 2013. It happened in Barreno. Investigators say Ponce was last seen at an East El Paso sports bar. The tipster told deputies Ponce now has a shaved head. If you see him, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers, the number there on your screen.
And now moving on, the search continues for a missing Las Cruces woman. 44-year-old Janet Castrejon was last seen Friday night, and her aunt told ABC7 she was with her parents and her brother before she was separated from them in the Coronado National Forest in Arizona. She was last seen in the Chiricahua mountain range by the New Mexico state line. 2 sheriff's offices in the area are helping search for Castrejon. Her aunt also told ABC7 that Castrejon suffered brain damage in a car crash several years ago, so she may be in danger. And meanwhile, a Las Cruces teenager is now back with her family. Las Cruces police say 13-year-old Nicole Enriquez was found on Friday. She was reported missing last week. Officials did not say where she was found or who she was with, but they do say she is in good condition.
Let's take a live look at traffic. Again, this is the accident at George Dieter and Vista del Sol that Denise just gave us an update on. A reminder that west of George Dieter is closed.
And the end of a weekend trip to Las Vegas took a turn for the worse on the flight back home to El Paso. The small plane crashed near the Hoover Dam at Lake Mead, Nevada. 3 women and the pilot were on board. No one was seriously hurt, but 2 of the women were treated for minor injuries. Initial reports suggest that the plane's engine died. The women were returning home after attending the EDC Music Festival in Vegas.
The Transportation Security Administration has a new top man this morning. The U.S. Senate overwhelmingly confirmed Peter Nefffinger Monday. The vote was 81-1. He previously served as Vice Admiral for the U.S. Coast Guard. He is the TSA's first full-time administrator since John Pistole resigned at the end of last year. Nefffinger takes over, and reports of security gaps at America's airports are looming. Earlier this month, officials revealed that auditors were able to sneak prohibited items right past TSA checkpoints 67 times out of 70 tries.
The chorus of powerful voices is growing this morning, demanding that the Confederate flag be removed from South Carolina's State House grounds. The governor herself admits the flag is a divisive symbol. We get the latest from ABC's Kenneth Moten on this story developing now.
It's been flying high on the grounds of South Carolina's capital for more than half a century. This morning, the state's Republican governor is calling for the Confederate flag to come down.
We are here in a moment of unity in our state, without ill will, to say it's time to move the flag from the Capitol grounds.
Is it hate or is it Southern heritage?
It represents history to me. It represents my ancestors.
We are all aware of what it really means, and that's why whenever hate groups march or parade or rally, they use those symbols.
15 years ago, a battle between the NAACP and the state resulted in lawmakers removing the flag from the dome of the State House in Columbia to this location. It was a compromise many could no longer live with after this image surfaced over the weekend showing the accused killer in the Charleston Church massacre holding on to the Confederate flag.
We are not going to allow this symbol to divide us any longer. The fact that people are choosing to use it as a sign of hate is something that we cannot stand.
Governor Nikki Haley may be the top official in the state, but removing the flag will take a vote from the legislature, which wraps up next week.
I respectfully ask the General Assembly to move this flag to an appropriate historical context.
The Speaker of the House in Mississippi is calling for the Confederate emblem to be taken off that state's flag, and retail giant Walmart announced it will remove all items promoting the Confederate flag from its stores. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
And Walmart has announced that it will stop selling merchandise bearing the image of the Confederate battle flag. The country's largest retailer again made that announcement Monday, 5 days after a racist gunman killed 9 people at an African-American church in Charleston. Walmart.com currently sells the flag along with several apparel items featuring the flag's design, like t-shirts and belt buckles. A statement from the company said the items will be removed from both stores and from the website. Also Monday, South Carolina's governor called for the Confederate flag to be removed from state capitol grounds. And with all the controversy over the Confederate flag in South Carolina, we're taking a closer look at Confederate symbols right here in the borderland. Over at the Anthony Rest Stop, a lesser-known version of the Confederate flag flies high. Fort Bliss used to have a road named after Robert E. Lee, but it was recently renamed. However, the city still does have a Robert E. Lee Road. Some say these symbols are hurtful and represent racism, but a member of the Historical Commission says they do have a historical value, since El Paso and parts of southern New Mexico were once a part of the Confederacy. So what do you think? Should the Confederate flag be removed from government property? You can take our online poll right now at KVIA.com.
And it's 10 minutes past the hour and still ahead. A lightning strike in Las Cruces displaces a family. What's next for that family of 4?
And a little later, the El Paso Chihuahuas make a big change to their roster. Who's out and who's now in? That story is coming up.
And up at that next is meteorologist Crystal Clyde. She has your detailed forecast. Hi, Crystal.
Hi, good morning, everyone. That forecast includes cooler temps today. How low will they go? We've got the answer right after your break.
Thanks so much, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.